It's time for another smartphone camera comparison with the brand new OnePlus 15 and comparing that with the iPhone 17 Pro to see how these two smartphones stack up in everyday use. Let's take a look. And this here's a look at video capture from the cameras on the back of the phone, starting off with the ultra wide camera, fitting in as much as the scene as possible into the frame. But of course, moving into that main sensor is always going to be the best for dynamic range, but just overall video quality as well. Just the clarity that you get from those main sensors is always going to be top notch. But then moving into the zoom cameras, 3.5x and 4x respectively on the OnePlus and the iPhone. If you want to see how that really turns out, we do have digital crops on those as well, 7x and 8x on the two phones respectively. And this here is a look at video capture from the selfie cameras on these two devices. Now, OnePlus has never been known to have really good selfie cameras, and Apple is always typically on the other end of the spectrum, always having one of the best on the market. But I think the OnePlus is looking a little bit better than it typically has in this side-by-side comparison. So let me know in the comments if you think OnePlus has had a bit of an improvement this time around. Now I wanted to give you guys another look at video capture from the selfie cameras on the front of the phone and the cameras on the back of the phone, just to show you how much of a difference there is between the sensors that are used for each of those cameras. Let's take a look. Now this first one is the ultra wide camera, and if you are going to be capturing video of yourself using any of the cameras on the back of the phone, the ultra wide camera is usually the best bet, just because you can fit so much more into the scene. The only downside is that the ultra wide usually doesn't have the best video quality possible. For that, you want to make sure that you are using the main sensor. It's just a little bit harder to use, but let's switch over to that now to show you the difference between the two. And here we go. This is a look at the main sensor on the back of both of these devices. You should notice a shallower depth of field so that there's more separation between me and the background behind me. But as far as video quality goes, this definitely should be the best option on both of these devices. So we got our shots during the day with both of these devices, and I have to say the OnePlus 15 actually held up pretty well in comparison to the iPhone and looking at the side-by-side results on the two devices. But now that it's gotten dark, it's time for some low-light photo and video tests to see if it actually can keep up with the iPhone when the lighting conditions aren't really that good. Just the size of the sensors is going to have a huge impact here, but OnePlus might be able to pull it off. So let's take a look. For some low light video capture, we're starting off with the ultra wide cameras on the back of both of these devices. Honestly, I'm actually pretty surprised to see how well the OnePlus is doing with that one. Of course, moving into that main sensor, much larger, capturing a lot more detail in the sky there on the iPhone. A little bit better on the OnePlus than the ultra wide was, but of course, moving into that zoom camera, if you want to get a whole lot closer, the iPhone again capturing a lot more light. The sensor itself is just so much larger on the iPhone for the zoom camera. Of course, it bumps in a little bit closer as well. And then if we do the digital crop on both of these, you can see just a little bit more of those details up close. And of course, I want to give you guys a look at the comparison between the selfie cameras and the cameras on the back of the phone, just because there is a huge difference in terms of the amount of light that they capture, especially when recording video. So we're going to switch here from the selfie camera to the ultra wide and then the main sensor to show you the difference between all three cameras. This first one here is the ultra wide camera on the back of the phone. I have to say, this is probably one of my favorite ones for capturing video with, just because you get that wider field of view, and especially if you're capturing video of yourself, it's the easiest one to use just because of that wider field of view. But of course, if you want the best quality for the video, you're gonna have to switch over to the main sensor, which we're gonna take a look at right now. And here we go, to switch to the main sensor on the back of the OnePlus 15 and the iPhone 17 Pro. Let me know what you think of this transition from the selfie camera, ultra wide, and then the main sensor, and the quality of video that you get out of each of these. Honestly, I think the OnePlus has come a long way this year in terms of the main camera in low light, but I still think it has a ways to go if it really wants to compete with the iPhone. And that's going to do it for this camera comparison between the OnePlus 15 and the iPhone 17 Pro. Let me know what you think of the results in the comments below and which device you think came out ahead in this comparison. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.